Imagine you live your life the way that your mother wants you to. You play it safe, you never take any risks, so you never start that business. You never go all in on your career. You never jump over that puddle. What kind of life would you be left with? You'll have no great stories of adventure and challenge to tell your future son. The Jeffreys of the world, the weak people, will tell you that this is the right way. Don't take risks. But Adonis, on the other hand, encourages you to take risks, especially when you are young, because the reward of those risks compound exponentially. Why you should take risks when you're young. Take big risks when you're young. I was raised as a pussy. My mum wanted to keep me safe in all situations, and I don't blame her for it. She had very, very good reasons to try and not so much be overbearing, but to keep me safe, because my family went through like a fair amount of like traumatic racist incidents. So when I lived in Liverpool in the UK, I would have been in primary school like age 7 or 8. This is when like some bad, like scary shit was happening. I still have like kind of scary, sad memories of one day like my sister came home and she's crying and there's like chaos in the house, and my dad and my mum are getting like angry, and they're asking her who was it, and she's like not really saying who it was and what's going on. And like some guy had attacked her in her high school in like some racist thing, and my dad and my mom, they go to her high school to speak to the staff there, like the teachers there, and nothing really gets done. And then that same guy plus a bunch of his friends start like fully like harassing us and like attacking the house. Like it was very, very frequent that we'd just hear like this. Watch, we'd hear this, we'd hear that. They'd be outside like banging on the windows and stuff, and obviously we'd call the police. A lot of the times they'd throw eggs. I remember there was one particular time where like they would throw eggs very frequently at the window and just scream like a lot of racist shit. It was always at 6 p.m. when like The Simpsons would be on. We used to watch The Simpsons, and you just hear like the thud and the crack of eggs. And my parents are getting worried and everything, like who knows if they've got weapons and everything. And there was this one particular time that we opened the door and they've already gone and we're calling the police and everything. I'm kind of like leant against the front door of our house, and then I've got it all over my back. Like we didn't even realize that they threw it over the front door as well, instead of just like the main window. And I just remember this one particular time because I literally had fucking like eggs all over the back of my shirt because I kind of rested on the front door. So that was going on at the same time that a lot of like brutal racist incidents was happening in the area that we lived in. I've mentioned before that if you can Google this name, Anthony Walker lived nearby. So it was quite like natural then for my mother especially to really look after me and really make sure that I wasn't doing anything dangerous. I wasn't really allowed to do much like at all. Like I was allowed to play, I would have been 10, 11 years old. I was allowed to play like in my street, like in front of the house. And we weren't even allowed to go like 2 streets away, 3 streets. We weren't allowed to do that. And I really like, it was always in my mind that I've always got to ask for permission. And I've really grown up with this sense of like an absolute need for guidance and for permission to do anything. We literally, bro, we moved out of Liverpool. I wasn't allowed to tell anyone where we were moving to because we literally thought, that the hate crime would follow us. We were on the news with this and everything, but like we thought the hate crime would follow us. So my parents didn't tell me like where we were moving to, and they said, they didn't want anyone to know. They didn't want me to like tell my friends, and then somehow the same like group of guys, like the gang, would find us. And even when we moved to a new area, my mom was always just like scared of me like going outside. I was never allowed out when it was dark. I would have been 15 years old and still not. So by the time that everyone was like going to parties and maturing a little bit, I missed that entire experience because I wasn't allowed to like go out at nighttime. It was only when I was about 18, 19 that when my mom was on holiday in Pakistan that my dad was letting me sort of like be a little bit more lenient, and I'd go to like some parties and I had to like come back home at like 12 o'clock, but at least that was some progress. But the reason why I tell you that story is because you can probably relate to parents really wanting you to stay safe. And if it's not for parents, it might be your teachers, it might be your friends. And all of this leads to a big problem, which is a young man not taking risks. You have to understand that if you want rewards, if you want results, if you want progress, there needs to be some kind of risk / sacrifice involved. Because think about it, if you want to make gains in the gym, you want to get like, let me just, if you want to make some gains in the gym, you want to make some muscle, you need to sacrifice some things. What do you need to sacrifice? Well, some time to go to the gym and to train and to cook nutritious food. Then you also need to eat the nutritious food, and maybe that can be more expensive. You have to sacrifice junk food. You have to sacrifice the ability to stay comfortable. So there's somewhat of a risk, and that's not even the risk of like gym injuries. There's always a sacrifice, like a payment that has to be paid for you to grow. Understand this and keep this phrase in your mind. Sacrifice must be progressively overloaded.